preference of choosing Upapakkavaadhyam on what basis. He clearly said, if I am going to talk to this particular singer, and he knows singers also play a major role, because if she choose to decide that today I am going to have all complex patterns in my swara delivery, right? So I need a support from the Mridangam. And if someone she gets a mostly artist, it's not that they cannot follow, but the complex pattern instantly if they have to play, the limitation of the instrument doesn't allow them to do that. Okay? So that is one of the perspective of the person. That's why I put it. So I talked about the distinct role of each instrument of all three Upapakkavaadhyams, and also talked about how to choose Upapakkavaadhyam, right? Okay. So now, how Upapakkavaadhyam artists adjust to the Mridangam player style? Okay. As I said, there are two schools I talked about, and two schools have a different kind of style, and one with complex patterns, the other one will give importance to the melody. So how being the Upapakkavaadhyam is not easy job. Not that I am a Upapakkavaadhyam player, I am not saying this. It is like, one of the renowned musicians actually called out saying that being a Upapakkavaadhyam, if Mridanga says knows 100%, a Gadam artist should know 200% of that, because he would be sitting with different Mridangam artists every day, and he has to adjust to that Mridangam artist, and that Mridangam artist may not be coming from the same school. Yesterday maybe you would have played for an artist who comes from the Tanjavur school. Next day you will have a concert, you will be playing with an artist who comes from the Pudukkottai school. So whatever he played yesterday, tomorrow, next day going to be completely different. Okay, so he has to be prepared. And again, no rehearsals done. So imagine people are playing in Marvelly Station in December Music Festival in Chennai and all. Almost every day, artists have concerts. That too, every single day. Especially Upapakkavaadhyam artists will have 3 concerts, 4 concerts a day. Morning 9 to 11 they will play one sabha, after 12 to 1 midday concert they will play, and 4 to 6 they will play some other concert. Then they go to another concert 8 to 10. And imagine that they will be playing with 4 different artists, and 4 different artists coming from different schools of art, and some even modern artists, actually some of them have actually created their own banis as well. So you will have to adapt to each of these. In addition to that, you also have to follow the main artist. What somebody is going to come, somebody decides that today I am going to make sure that all of you, my accompanies, have tremendous work to do. They prepare, well prepared their Ragam and Pallavis with all complex patterns inside, and then they come. The sub art is the accompaniment is going to have a real tough time managing that. Right? So that all of a sudden then whatever the Mridangam artist knows, the Upapakkavaadhyam has to know at least 50% or 100% more than what they know, in order to get adjusted and adapted to each and every different artist. Okay, I already explained about the different Sollu is actually that how do we play in Mridangam and mostly, right? And then the last part of our demonstration is going to be the Taniyavardhanam. Because in the Taniyavardhanam is where it's a part, I think those of you who have been following the Carnatic concert pattern, right? So Carnatic concert pattern has a pattern in which it's kind of a format that our elders have actually created. In fact, my great grandfather, 5 generations ago, Ramnatha Prabhu, Haripriya Srinivasan, those who are learning Carnatic music wouldn't have skipped the Ninnukori Varnam. It's composed by my great grandfather, and we are very proud and privileged to be part of that family. So he actually laid the foundation for the Carnatic concert pattern. Like the Varnam, there are different compositions of Carnatic music. So the very first is called Varnam. So that has a combination of Sahityam, the other verse is called the lyrics, and the Swarams, combination of that. So that is the basic. So they start the concert with the Varnam. The reason for it is because the Varnam actually kind of, it's a warm-up. Okay, that's why you learn Varnam before even learning the Kriti. The reason is because you need to understand how the Kriti is going to be delivered, how the Kriti will be. In order to understand the Kriti, you need to have the basic, which is the Varnam. Right? So the Varnam is something, is a warm-up, or I would say that as a first part to be delivered. Then followed by of course, the prayer. Mostly it is said that we will start out with some prayer, and we, as a customary, we always pray to the Lord Vinayaka, and then there will be compositions on Lord Vinayaka. And then we start up, the rest of the composition goes on. And at one point, and in between the melody part, which I am sure Akarai sisters will be covering it in their workshop later on, and they will be talking about the other part, the melody. But just to give a perspective, in a concert, the solo performance are called Raga Alapam. That is what the Manoranjani aspect. Manoranjani in the sense, how do they improvise these seven swarams, take the melodical patterns and improvise. That is called Raga Alapana. So the main singer picks a particular raga which she is going to deliver a composition on it, and she will be singing that particular raga Alapana, and the violinist will just follow. And after the main artist finished her Alapana, the violinist will take over and he will do his part and her part by just elaborating his own improvisation of that. Just to complement each other, saying that whatever the main artist has sung or played on the instrument, the raga, he will, or he or she, the accompaniments in the violin or harmonium will try to this improvise and elevate that. So that is the raga, the melody part of the improvisation. Then the part it comes, there is a lot of the Kalpana Sangeetam, that is what is the main importance of Carnatic music is, as I earlier mentioned, is the Manodharma aspect. The Manodharma aspect means you create, you improvise instantly. So the Raga Alapana is the melodical improvisation done by the main artist and the violinist. Then as the composition goes on, there are places they call it as Kalpana Swarams. So we will demonstrate that now. Kalpana Swarams are something on which raga a particular composition is delivered. The person, the main artist will start singing the swara patterns. Like a syllable in the music, in the Mridangam, they will be using, they will also be again using the same underlying mathematics to create the patterns. Like they will be something, so it is like tati kitakum, tati kitakum, tati kitakum. So it is two syllables. When they sing, the person sings in the swarams. That swarams is then it is like it is understood that it is 666. Tati kitakum, tati kitakum, 6. Tati kitakum, tati kitakum, tati kitakum. It is 5. It goes on. It's 5, 6, 7 is the basic foundation, but then you can create patterns going in different numbers, different patterns, combination of matching 5, 6, 7. 7. You can create in different forms. You see the patterns can be created in different. You can put it in like very simple. It looks very simple. That's why I said problem. It's like permutation and combination, putting the numbers in different. So you can have numbers like you can rearrange the numbers and you create patterns. And so that Kalpana Swaram, they actually set the stage for that in the main piece of the concert, where the piece starts off with the Raga Alapana by the main artist, then the Raga Alapana by the violin, then they deliver the composition, and the middle of the composition or towards the end of the composition, they basically sing a Kalpana Swaram. And that Kalpana Swaram, again, the main artist is showing her or his improvisation techniques in elaborating the patterns. And again, it is not necessary that the violinist has to follow what she said. They will be responding back. If, say for example, if she sings a pattern saying 5, 6, 7, he don't have to play the same for 5, 6, 7. Rather, he can even change slightly. He can repeat saying that 7, 6, 5. It is all the same. The meter is the same, right? 5, 6, 7, whatever you answer to, 11 plus 7, 18 actually. So that 18, they don't have to just sing the same format instead of 5, 6, 7. He can even sing 6, 5, 7, 7, 6, 5, all these patterns. So violinist will be responding back. So this kind of a dialogue exchange between the violinist and the mridangist. And Upapakkavaadhyam role, what we play, that is where in the rhythm, when the singer sings the swara or the main artist sings, the Mridangam will be accompanying the main artist. When the accompaniment or the violinist responding back to her, we will accompany. So you need a melody plus the rhythm at any point in time. So the melodic support of the lead artist is supported by the lead percussion instrument, which is Mridangam, and there's an accompanying melody instrument which is violin, which is played violin, and then the Upapakkavaadhyam will accompany. So this is how it is. And after the point where it comes, they will let the percussion artists create their own improvisation. That is what is called Tanyavardhanam. The Avardhanam I already explained is a meter, okay? So they will give, okay, take up to you how you want to create. So in the Tanyavardhanam is where both Mridangam and any of the Upapakkavaadhyam, or if there is a concept where people do choose full bench, we call it as full bench, means choose to have all Upapakkavaadhyam, meaning that there will be vocalist, violinist, Mridangam, supported by Gadan, Benjira and horse. So all Upapakkavaadhyams are. Then the rounds will increase. So each one will get a chance to do their own improvisation and everybody will have to do their part. And it gets improvised. Okay? So we will demonstrate the Tanyavardhanam piece. So the main piece which I just elaborated just now. So she is going to sing a composition. Okay? But she won't be talking about the melodical aspect. Only from the rhythmic perspective we will be demonstrating that. We will take a small piece of composition which she sings. Then she will be singing, but unfortunately she don't have accompaniment today. So she will have to play both roles. So she will be one round she will be singing for herself. The other round she will be mimicking the violinist. So she will just play the role of violinist and sing the same thing for her. And first round she will be accompanying on a Mridangam. Second one I will be accompanying on a Mosik. And finally we both will take the Tanyavardhanam piece, how we come fluence together as a piece. Okay. Okay. So we'll conclude our lecture demonstration with this piece. She is just done with the melodical improvisation. Now this is the time for the percussion improvisation. So the very first will be starting with Mridangam. she will finish one round. After that, I will be playing another round as percussion or sub percussion. Then we both will start conferencing and we'll finish up with the theme on the chorway which I said earlier. And then they will start. This is what is the Kanyavardhanam. This is the Kanyavardhanam piece, and I think just one last point, as you have noticed, Upapakkavaadhyam has to always follow the Mridangam. Right? I had to wait what she was playing. Where we, in the interest of time, we just shortened the Kanyavardhanam. Usually it will be one round of various different nadays we will be playing. Then we will be playing something called Korappu. She just played a Korappu, one or two. And I was also not anticipating. That is where I said it's very important that we'll have to be very alert and anticipating what she is supposed to play. Because I have to tune to her mind. And if you're not alert, if you're not tuned, you cannot play that actually. So she was playing the Korappu, and then I followed the Korappu, the pattern what she played. Then what it's called Paratumora, the Farahans we call it as actually. Then that's again depends on the school. The pattern they follow is different. So we'll have to follow that. Finally, what she played is the chorway, the end, the Tirmanam. And it's a construct of a pattern which has two parts, the Purvangam and Uttarangam part. And she actually, I was again not sure what the Tirmanam chorway she is going to play. So that's why after playing the Paratum, I had to wait for her to see, because on spontaneously, again, we are not pre-planned. I told her that whatever it comes, you will play. That's why I can demonstrate well. So she played a chorway, so I had to wait first to understand what pattern she's playing. Then I joined her on the second round and third round of it. So we finally played 3 times and then finished the chorus. Okay? And I hope you probably enjoyed or not enjoyed, I'm not sure. Hope I have given whatever the topic is given to me, I'll try to explain as much as possible so that you can, next time you see an artist who's playing with Gadam, Ganjara, or Muslim, at least understand what they do. Thank you very much, and thanks Abhishek and the team, all of you.
Sure. Our heartfelt gratitude to you, sir, and with your team of your daughters, thank you for giving us such a comprehensive insight into the world of percussion. I'm sure it was very illuminating. I was talking to a bunch of our club members. They were telling me that there is so much more to learn that they weren't aware of, and it is all thanks to you for giving us an insight into this and kindling the interest for so many people who want to learn more. A big round of applause for all the artists who gave us this. Before we conclude with the felicitation, any questions or any doubts? We can have a brief Q&A if anyone has any.
Namaskaram, sir. First off, very wonderful and informative session. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Thank you.
Mainly my doubt is, it's a very generalized doubt. So when I was young, I used to wonder, usually for motion players, since you keep it near your teeth, is it dangerous or since the lead vibrates, is there any danger while playing it? Or,
Yeah.
If so, could you explain as to how you...
Correct. You're right. Actually, in fact, when I was a kid, we are like family of musicians. My mother used to be a stage performer, so when I was at a younger age, I used to accompany her, go on scene. When I was a motion artist accompanying my mother one day, I was so interested. I used to go and sit with him to see what is he doing. Like as you said rightly, yes, there is a danger, and that is the reason when I went and told my mom that I want to learn motion, he said, no, it will cut your tongue. Don't try to do that. But actually, that's a myth. It is not going to cut your tongue because, of course, your tongue plays a vital role in playing motion. But when you hold it, you are holding it between your teeth. So your teeth is basically protecting the tongue, is not coming out actually. But having said that, it is also possible that your lips may get cut. Especially, as I said, it has happened to me many times. But especially, I was on an example of musicians playing different percussion instruments, and I was accompanying on more things. As I said, those from different schools, and sometimes one was playing complex patterns, and I try to assimilate that more things. But sometimes it's not possible. But when we try, and the curiosity and try to do try to experiment something, and that the string which you usually have to hit to get the sound right, it cuts your lip actually. But it most of the time on the lip, but not always. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I have two questions.
Sure.
First is the two schools of cards you told, Tanjavur and Pudukkottai. Like, is it only for Mridangam or for all Upapakkavaadhyam also?
Okay, the school of art is actually that Upapakkavaadhyams don't have separate syllables, or what we follow is just what is on the Mridangam. Even our basic lessons, what we learn is what is taught on the Mridangam. So one cannot play Upapakkavaadhyam without knowing the Mridangam in the first place. Okay, the very prerequisite of playing any Upapakkavaadhyam for that matter is to know the Mridangam. The reason is because we simply follow or simply play what is played on the Mridangam. So with that said, you have to be on either of the schools. Okay, you have to come from either one of the school, and you will follow the foundation from there, and then the syllabus will be followed by it.
Yeah. The second question is, I've seen a lot of people who play Upapakkavaadhyam, all of them know all three of it. How is it like? If Mridangam player, most of the days they only practice Mridangam, right? So they go for concert, they play Mridangam there. If a vocal is there, he or she will practice the song. But the person who I know who play Upapakkavaadhyam knows all three of them.
Yeah.
Is it like everybody knows that, or?
Yeah, it depends mostly, but very minimum prerequisite is the Upapakkavaadhyam must know how to play Mridangam. Yeah. So irrespective of whether you play Ghattam or Ganjira or Mosin, you should know how to play Mridangam. Even if you don't practice, at least you should know how to play Mridangam. But not necessarily that you play all three Upapakkavaadhyams. But people do take out of interest. See, I started learning from Ganjira. So as I said, I was kept away from Mosin because people were, until the age of, when I started thinking, I experimented myself, I was thinking, oh, this will cut my lips, so I don't want to touch Mosin. But later I realized that it is not the way, right? So until then, first I started learning Ganjira. The reason is because it's easy, very safe instrument to carry and all those things. Then later I thought, out of interest, I went and bought the Mosin, I started playing. I found it is nice.
Thank you.
We can maybe take one more question before we wrap up the session. Anyone else would like to clarify anything?
Good evening, sir. Covering this very less span of hours, less than 2 hours, covering all the aspects of this kacheri, the music thing, is a little difficult. But you touched all the subjects. Do you have do you have any channels? I mean, YouTube channels where you can give subject-wise thing to so that all these people can have an knowledge. Please let us know about your.
Sure. So actually, thanks anyway. I don't have specific channels as such, but we do sometimes post anything on our own channels. But I've definitely been in touch with this group of people who are interested, and I love to learn from you all. I also love to learn and share the knowledge whatever we have actually.
So it's a very interesting talk. You said about Talam, that you told about a cycle.
Yeah.
In each cycle, if there are 8 beats, it is Adi.
Yes.
Is there any time frame for each cycle, like 10 seconds or 15 seconds?
No, it's a very good question. So the pause as a count is not seconds, but it is measured on something called carvai. Okay, but again, with respect to time, it is there, but it is not measured on time. So for example, ta, ti, dum, nam. So this is, I said, the 4 syllables in the 8-beat cycle, meaning that for each sol, that ta means I have actually given a pause of 1 more beat. Ta, ti, dum, nam. The same thing you can do it in a second speed, which is like ta, ti, dum, nam, ta, ti, dum, nam. 1 beat, 1 syllable, like one, and you can actually extend it. You can even extend it even this. This is called, it is actually a time, but not defined in terms of what you call in time frame. So it is called Manoranjani. Manoranjani means again it is related to your mind. There is a meter going on. Every individual has some kind of meter, like your heartbeat rhythm. So we can have that. So what we define is in 3 different Trikalam, that is called Trikalam. So one is actually the Vilamba Kalam, which is very slow, and Madhyama Kalam and Durita Kalam. So Vilamba Kalam means you can extend it, but it is constrained to the number of beats. Like the same syllable, if I can say ta, ti, dum, nam. So what I am doing basically, for each syllable, I am giving up to 4 beat pause. That is Vilamba Kalam, it is a very slow speed. So this is a pace which is set, and the vocalist or instrument is also can accordingly sing. This is like so same practice they will also be doing. So when they sing in Vilamba Kalam, that's how we can also align. If they give in Vilamba Kalam, we will align to that. We'll easily understand, okay, they are going in this speed. So per 1 syllable, they are taking up to 4 notes of pass, things like that. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Completing today's lecture for Manoranjani with Manolayam, I think seems quite appropriate. So thank you so much for such an insightful lecture. And thank you for the insightful questions from all the students and Raghunathan sir. With that, I'll hand over to the MC for the closing comments and the felicitation of the artists.
We would like to express our deepest gratitude to Srinivasan sir and co for delivering such an interesting and enlightening lecture. I'm sure everybody learned a lot of stuff in Upapakkavaadhyam and all the percussive aspects. So we also have with us Dr. Raghavan, Associate Dean Academic and Associate Professor in Department of Civil Engineering in NIHSG. He did his Masters and PhD in Structural Engineering from IIT Madras. He's been an avid enthusiast of Carnatic music and he's been extremely supportive of our club's activities. So we are honored to have him here this evening. I would like to call upon Raghavan sir to say a few.
So, first of all, I want to thank all the interested audience, Karavu sir, for actually coming and gracing the session. And foremost thanks to our esteemed performers today, Srinivasan sir and his team. So, I think all of you did a very nice, he motivated all of us, I suppose. I have absolutely no background in music. And they have made me to sit here and interested for more than 2 hours and listen to it so much enthusiasm. And it was very nice for me to all of us to actually see all of these intricacies and the science, like you said, the technology and technique behind all this, the Upapakkavaadhyam, what behind all that. So based on this, I also want to finally thank our Manoranjani club. So they have, I have always been very thankful to them. I always call them to the temple, and whenever I call them for festival, they are ready to come and perform and help me out. So it's a very, I hope that Manoranjani club keeps growing. This is the club that I think connects the institute, gives it a soul because of the thing which they do. So thank you for this great lecture. Thank you very much, sir. I hope you keep coming for this club.
At least as an audience.
We now request Dr. Karvengu and Dr. Raghavan to felicitate the artists on stage.
Anna, close the light.
Thank you so much. With that, we come to the end of day 1 of Manoranjani. Tomorrow, our events will be happening at GJCH Conference Hall 2. In the morning, Mridangam members will be performing a Pancharatna Seva starting at 9:30 tomorrow. And in the evening, we will be having a vocal concert performed by Srivatsananna, who is an alumni of Amritavarshini. He will be accompanied by Mr. Shrikant on the violin, again one of our alumni, and Kishore Ramesh on the Mridangam. We are also announcing that Prasadam is available just near the exit for anyone interested. And this is Adarsh signing off. Thank you everyone coming here today, and we hope to see you tomorrow as well. Thank you.
Thank you.